done a lot more work here on her arms. As you can see, the red Aves I was using to fill those seams, and I've sanded it all down to the point where it's really smooth, so that part's ready to get hit with some primer again. I also attached her right leg, and I put in Aves here along this seam, and I still have a little bit of this right in here, but I need to sand that also. I switched to the Aves Fix-It sculpt. It's the same as the red. It's A and B, equal parts of each. You get about 2 hours working time before it starts to harden too much. I like this stuff better than the red because it's a little more dense, meaning that it's easier to sculpt, and it sands a lot finer than the red does. They must have a finer grain of sand or something that's inside it. Whatever the process is, it's just easier. I also connected this left boot here, and I set up the right leg here. So I drilled a hole there, drilled a hole there. So you just take this brass rod, stick it in there with some 5-minute epoxy, and then set it, and then 5 minutes later it's dry and it's hard and it's not coming apart. I'm leaving it off for now because I need to be able to adjust her legs when I do the base. So this part's all ready to do some sanding and get some primer, and I did some more work on her hair, and I'll come back and show you that. Sculpting her hair, as you can see, when it's all together, there's quite a bit of open space here on the left side of her face. So what I'm doing is I'm taking that same Aves Fix-It sculpt, and I am slowly building up some hair strands on the back here. So I put some on there, get it to the kind of the height I'd want, put the head back on and squish it so I'd know just how high it could be, and then went in with like this pointy rubber tool here, and just, you know, slowly work some grooves in here for the hair to try to match what the rest of the hair looks like on the rest of the sculpt. So I still have to do the back here behind her neck and make that look like this here, and then with this on this side, fill that in a little bit more, and then that should be ready to be primed or sanded and then primed, or both. But I'm going to work a little bit more on these and then I'll come back. I've gone ahead and filled in the rest of this back of the hair here, and I also filled in this side, so everything is still wet. So now I need to wait 24 hours till tomorrow to be able to sand it, mess with it, whatever I need to do with it. So I'll let that happen and then I'll come back. Got a coat of primer on her, and this is when you can really see what you need to do. See, there's still a ridge here on the hip here where I attached the leg. Back here is not too bad. There's a spot right here that I need to sand. There are several spots on the back and in the shoulder area. There's a spot right here on top I need to sand down. So that's the whole purpose of the priming stage, because you can sand stuff and feel it with your finger and it feels like it's smooth, but then when you get some primer on it, you can see all the imperfections and what you need to do So looks like it's time for some more sanding. Alright, I just finished a round of sanding and I've hit it with some primer again. I got rid of most of this hump here, but there's still a little bit of a line right here, so I need to get rid of that. There's going to be a little bit right here because this is where the top of the pelvis is, but this needs to be a little bit smoother. Up in the arms and shoulder area looks pretty good, but I do have to go in and sculpt in some wrinkles because this is all a suit now, so I need to do something similar to what you see here and here. There needs to be some wrinkles in here, like up around the shoulder, this shoulder, a little bit around where the elbows are. So I'm going to work on that and then I'll come back. Everything on the head is primed. Obviously it's dry. So what I can do now is I'll put it together and then I'll come back and show you that. With the head together, has the look that I was looking for, and it's coming together really well. I like how it's turning out. Still have a few tweaking spots to do and fix a few things, but it's on the right track. Setting her up for the base, I have put a screw that I cut off here, or bolt, and then a brass tube on the front foot. This kit, the acrylic base that comes with it, has tabs that go up inside her foot here on the bottom. So once I secured these, I went in with some Aves and filled that in and smoothed it out. I still need to sand it and prime it, obviously, but now I can set her inside her on top of the base here. Like that, and then take the wing nut, give it a little tightening there, and then now she'll stay on the base. I also put a piece of brass rod in her neck, so that now that'll sit on there. So starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel. So I'll work more on this. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you for subscribing, and I'll see you for part 5.